This episode is sponsored by SmartVestor. Connect with an investing pro for free at RamseySolutions.com/invest. You're listening to Ramsey Everyday Millionaires, where we talk investing, retirement, building wealth, and outrageous generosity.
Hey, George, I saw this sitting on our desk, and I think it's worth talking about because we hear so much doom and gloom about Americans not ready to retire, or it's the American dream is dying, here in America when it comes to money. And this is really cool from CNN. Number of 401k millionaire reaches new high.
Yes, I actually just talked about this morning on Good Day Orlando. We did a media hit with the nice people over there, and this is exactly what we talked about because there's so much hope stealing going on out there. All you hear is there's a retirement crisis, and the next president's going to screw this up and cause us to all be broke. And here's Fidelity saying, actually, we're at record highs, and across our 401k accounts, they have 500,000 people who have balances of $1 million or more in that one account.
Wow.
In just one 401k account, which is very encouraging. Average balance hit $1.6 million.
That's great.
That's
excellent.
Encouraging. So the question is, good for them, George. What about me and my 401k? I don't have $1 million. Well, that's true. The average 401k out there is more like 126 grand.
Yeah.
So it's like a tenth. So how do you get there, Jade? Well, it takes consistent investing over a long period of time. So if you sporadically put 3% to get the employer match, it's going to take a bazillion years to get $1 million. But if you follow the Ramsey plan, you get out of debt as soon as you can, 2 years or less. You get the emergency fund in place. You begin investing 15% of your household income into that retirement account. You will see that it doesn't take long for compound growth to work its magic.
That's right. And we all the time around here, we're talking about 10% returns. And anytime I talk about 10% returns, especially if it goes on social media, there's always somebody popping into the comments saying something like, well, where are you going to get that? Or how could you get that? Or that's impossible. And I always have to explain the idea that this is an annualized term. Number one, it's not to say that every single year you're going to get 10%, but over the lifetime of your investing, that is what you're getting. That's the average of all the years you've been investing.
So if it was up 30, down 12%, up 20%, down 6%, if you take into account all of those years, you're looking at 10 to 12% on average in the stock market.
That's right. And when you look at them by year, most of the years are up years. You have those years that tank because something catastrophic has happened, whether in politics or, international, but it always recovers, and it always recovers really in our favor.
I just looked at the S&P 500, which represents the total U.S. stock market. I looked at the numbers, Jade, this morning, and in 2004, so 20 years ago, we have 5x'd since then.
Yes.
So if you had 10 grand, now you're talking 50 grand. And even if you started investing 10 years ago, your money would have went 2.5x.
That's right.
And so it's not a rocket science analogy here. You just need savings rate, how much money you're putting in, plus time. That's
right.
the formula to become a 401k millionaire.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at here. So your 401k is a great place to start. We say all the time, we sometimes here we talk about baby step 4, and we kind of push past it, but it's worth talking about, George, because a lot of people have questions. A lot of people don't realize, okay, when I invest in my 401k at work, what does that mean? And where does that get me? So let's take a moment and kind of explain that, because I posted a video on Instagram last week about baby step 4, and I was overloaded with questions on, okay, what does that mean? Where do I go? What if it's Roth? What if I get a match? So let's take a moment and teach the people, when we say baby step 4, what are we talking about? I'll start with the first part. So here we teach that you're not ready to invest until after you've paid off your debt, which is baby step 2, and after you've invested after you've saved 3 to 6 months of expenses, that's baby step 3. From there, we then teach, okay, now you take 15% of the gross that you're making every single month. This is before insurance comes out, before taxes comes out. You take that money and you're investing it. And we say, let's start with an employer-sponsored account if there's a match.
Yes. So if you make 100 grand a year, you should see $15,000 in contributions in that retirement account. That's 15%.
Yes.
And the strategy here is simple. Match beats Roth beats traditional. We go for the match first because it's a 100% return on our investment. I put in 4%, the employer puts in 4%. Great. Next, we can move to all of the Roth options available. All of that means is that the money is put in after tax and grows tax-free. So you're not going to be able to deduct it from your taxable income for the year like a traditional, but you never have to pay taxes again. If you have $2 million in a Roth 401k at retirement, Uncle Sam doesn't touch it.
Love
That's like
that.
$2 million of net income, take-home pay. So I love that. Then beyond the Roth options, like a Roth IRA or Roth 401k, you can move to any traditional options you have.
That's right. And one of the other things I love about investing is if I can set it and forget it. Like if you're doing the 401k right now and you can go to HR and set it up and it happens like clockwork, that's wonderful because you don't even have to think about it. It's just happening monthly. It's money. You can almost pretend like it's never happened, right? You're not thinking about it. And same thing if you have a Roth IRA, you could probably set it up to where that's coming out automatically
contributions.
On payday. Because here's the thing. If you don't do it on payday, good luck to you.
It's not happening.
It's not happening.
If you see that money in your bank account, it's hard to go, you know what I should do? Invest for the future. You're going to go, ooh, I'm going to buy me some stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
So I love the idea of picturing like you never had that money and then future you. It's going to feel like you found like a $20 bill in your coat pocket, except it's going to be like a $2 million bill in your coat pocket.
So let's talk about George briefly because we got some time. Let's talk about for the people who say, well, I make too much to invest in a Roth IRA.
Well, the IRA does have limits, but there's ways around it with the Roth where you can do a backdoor Roth.
Yeah.
And all this means is you're going to use after-tax money to fund an IRA, and then you can immediately convert it to a Roth.
Yeah.
And it's legal. It's a legal loophole.
Totally legal.
This is not like a life hack that's going to get you in trouble. And I would recommend working with a pro on all of this. You can connect with one at RamseySolutions.com to help. That's what I did when I came to Ramsey. I had an old 401k. I rolled it over to the IRA. From my Apple career, my short 1 year and 3 month Apple career, I had some 401k money in there.
That's great.
And so whether you're rolling over or you want to do a backdoor Roth, there's a lot of options for high income earners. On top of that, there's the mega backdoor Roth.
Yes,
Like
there's a lot.
It feels like a 7-year-old named this.
The mega
backdoor.
And then for the people who are like, okay, George, great. I'm maxing out my 401k. I'm doing well. I'm maxing out a Roth IRA. What else can I do? We love the HSA, health savings account. If you have a high deductible insurance plan, that's a great way to go. I mean, obviously, when you put the money in at first, you're thinking this is for my health savings. But beyond $1,000, you're able to invest that money. And by the time you turn 65, it doesn't have to just go to medical costs. You can use that for...
It acts like a 401k,
basically,
essentially, which is really cool.
What if you're really doing well, George, and you're like, I did it all. I did the HSA, the Roth IRA, the 401k. What am I going to do next, George?
I would just invest in a general investing brokerage account.
Yes.
This is not connected to retirement, you don't get tax advantages.
Well, let's run it back a little simpler because some people are going, when you say brokerage account, George, what do you mean? What is that? What is a brokerage account? What's a brokerage?
Well, it's simply an account for investing that you work with a firm like we've all heard of Vanguard or Fidelity or Schwab.
Charles Schwab. Yep.
So you can work with a pro on this. You can open these yourself, and you just simply invest in. This is what Dave does. He gets a big check that's not non-retirement. He goes, "I'm going to put it in an index fund inside of one of these accounts."
It's not connected to your employer. It's not connected to your retirement. It's simply.
And you pay taxes on the money, on the growth of that money, and you don't get any tax deductions when you put it in. So there's no tax benefit, but the benefit is you don't have to wait till 60 to tap into it.
I like that.
And you can use it for anything at any time.
Okay, so let's take it a step further. When we talk about investing that money, what are we talking about? We're talking about, because a lot of people go, oh, I'm investing in single stocks, Apple, NVIDIA, right? And we're saying, no, that's super risky. Let's invest in mutual funds, right?
So this is like betting on a single horse versus betting on the racetrack.
Yeah.
I'd rather just enjoy the game and go, we're all going to be winners if we put money into the racetrack itself.
That's right.
We're going to get all the horses in that race. And that's what you're doing when you invest in a mutual fund, which is like 90 to 200 plus.
Sometimes more,
stocks.
Yeah.
And so that's what you're betting on. And you can see the return is a lot less rocky than a single stock of one company. Instead, we're going, here's the top 500 companies we're all rooting for, the top 500 horses in the race. And that way you get the benefit of all of that growth.
And there's different types of funds that he's talking about. We talk about growth funds, growth and income funds, aggressive growth funds, international. Those are the 4 that we teach. You're spreading your eggs out. You're not putting them in one basket. So if your international fund is not doing very well, probably your growth and income fund is trucking along and doing just fine as it should. And so that's how this works. That is baby step 4 in a nutshell. George, you're a genius.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would.
But you know what? You don't have to be a genius investor to make money in the stock market.
That's
you
right.
just got to ride it out. Don't jump off the coaster, man. Stay put.
Stay put.
Thanks for tuning in to Ramsey Everyday Millionaires. To learn more about investing, visit RamseySolutions.com/investing or click the link in the show notes. Ramsey Solutions is a paid non-client promoter of participating pros. Learn more at RamseySolutions.com/SmartVestor.